Have a listen to this. We'll ask a question on the back of it. Arsenal and England midfielder Declan Rice has been speaking to TalkSport ahead of the Three Lions Euro 2024 qualifier against North Macedonia tonight. It's live on TalkSport from 7:45. He praised how well Liverpool's Trent Alexander-Arnold has adapted to playing in midfield for England.
We're relatively new playing together. We've played, I think, 4 or 5 times now. But with someone like Trent and his passing quality and, how aggressive he is off the ball, I think, Klopp in a way he's embedded that in him where he's so aggressive and really presses the ball well. But I know I can just pass the ball to him anywhere, to be honest with you, and he can pick out any pass on the pitch. So, he's really good to play with, and, with players of that quality, you want to keep building that relationship. So long may that continue.
There's no doubt he's a fantastic player, Trent Alexander-Arnold. To see, one of the questions we're going to be asking is, what's England's midfield going to be? Hopefully, fingers crossed, when we start our first game in the Euros. It's Rice, Bellingham and one other, right?
Well, yeah, I can tell you now, it looks like it's probably going to be Rice, Phillips or Henderson and Bellingham. There's your 3 there. From Gareth Southgate's perspective,
yeah.
Especially if Calvin Phillips was to leave Manchester City in January, which I think he has to, and will go and play football elsewhere, it's going to be Rice, Calvin Phillips, Jude Bellingham. There's your 3.
Okay, who would your other one be with Rice and Bellingham?
So my 3 I'd like to see something like a Rice, Bellingham, Foden.
Has to be Foden.
But you will never, with Gareth.
I know you'll never see that.
We're not going to see that, but that's what I'd like to see.
What other?
Or Maddison, Bellingham, Maddison, Rice.
Not Trent.
No, because he's a right back. So,
no, I know he is.
And I know
he's played for England in that role.
I get it, but I know his range of passing is exceptional. But no, I think I'd rather play people in there that potentially play there week in, week out.
Okay, James Ward-Prowse, is he even going to be in the squad?
I hope so, because I think his form warrants that. But for whatever reason, Gareth seems. I mean, if you're James Ward-Prowse now and you look at it, and even though he's a professional player, he never really, what you get from James Ward-Prowse. He's probably going to be looking at that and seeing Trent playing in that midfield run. It's going to hurt him. Yeah, it has to hurt him, because me being a centre forward, if I saw a centre midfield player or a wide player who doesn't play centre forward playing in my position ahead of me, it's going to hurt. Of course, it's going to sting.
Would you rather Gareth Southgate? That wasn't me.
It must have been you.
That wasn't me. That was you. Would you rather Gareth Southgate plays Trent over another holder?
Well, no, because Declan Rice will always play.
No, another holder. What? So Rice, Bellingham, Trent, rather than Rice, Bellingham, and Phillips or Henderson.
I would prefer him to just play one holder, full stop. Rice, and then let Declan Rice hold, let Jude Bellingham go and do his stuff, Foden, Maddison, these guys. Let these guys go and do what they need to do.
Dictate
and go and win games rather than... But I tell you now, if everyone's fit, it's going to be Rice, Bellingham, Calvin Phillips. There's your 3.
Not Henderson. Phillips over.
Or one of them two.
Oh, no, I agree with you. Okay, that's one of the questions we're asking. 03717 For the other one, I think it's really interesting, actually, the other one. Who would be the worst player for England to get injured the night before it started? Now, the reason I ask that is Dan, who works on our show, No Jim Dan.
He's funny, man.
He first went with Ben Mee, and we were like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, he should be in the squad. And we're like, okay. If he's not in the squad, who's the most important? He said John Stones. Are you surprised he said that?
No, there's an argument to that.
I don't think there is an argument to that.
There is. He's very good.
He's not the most important player. If we get an injury to Stones, no one on this planet will go, we could have won it, now we can't.
No, there's an argument to that. But then...
Listen, I like John Stones. I think he's a fantastic... But he's not the one, is he? He's not the difference between winning and losing.
Ben Mee over there. There he is. Look. He's around the corner. Listen, I would probably go... You know me, I like Kyle Walker. And
I haven't got to yours yet.
Oh, okay.
Don't spoil it. We'll find out who Bentley's gone for in a minute. What do you make of Dan suggesting it's John Stones?
Listen, it's a good shout. I like John Stones. I think he's got better and better over the last couple of seasons. He's that inverted kind of centre-half fall back into centre midfield. I think he's been perfect. So, yeah, he'd be a big miss, I think.
Okay. Ryan Bryan has gone for Declan Rice.
Yeah, that's an obvious one, isn't it? And I get that because he's head and shoulders above... When it comes to holding in this country, he's head and shoulders above everybody. So I get that because if he steps out or got injured, Declan Rice, and that's one thing about him, touch wood, he's incredibly durable.
Oh, why have you said that?
Yeah, he's durable. So you go, what do? Calvin Phillips and Henderson? But... It's a difficult one. So Rice, I can understand it.
His goal was fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, Harry Kane doing what all good centre forward should do, get in the way.
Okay, you've gone for Jordan Henderson, who's your mate.
Don't lie, come on.
You've gone for Kyle Walker.
Yeah, now
again, I mean, listen, I think he's an unbelievable player, and his pace.
Think about the amount of times he's had to bail out, not just in that right back situation. I'm talking about the rest of the back four. And even when Gareth thinks, you know what, let me change up the formation. He's the one, okay, right centre-back, put Kyle Walker in there. Right back, yeah, we need Kyle Walker.
But you think he's the most important member of our team, do you?
Where's the pace if he gets injured?
Yeah, fine, okay.
And a lot of the time as well, a lot of teams in European football...
Who replaces him?
That's the thing. Trent, probably. It'd have to be Trent. Although I don't even think Gareth would do that. I think he'd probably go Trippier at right back over Trent, which is I would go Trent, of course. But you look at a lot of teams, like best players, it always seems to be that left-hand side. And Kyle Walker has got no like fear about facing Mbappe or Vinicius Junior. You know, that wide left, there was a good player. So I just think he needs to be in the team, Kyle Walker, anywhere possible. And if that's at centre-back or at right-back, he has to play. And I think he's probably the only one in that team where you could probably say that about.
Producer Joe, in front of me says Henderson, but you wouldn't have said Henderson. I can't remember who you said. Who did you say, Joe? Say it in my ear. You said Declan Rice, but I wrote Henderson.
Of course.
Okay. Well, let's say Henderson. I've gone for the same as Dell, the fox catcher, Kane.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, goals win games, right? I think if we get an injury to if Harry Kane is fit, we have every chance of winning it.
Yeah, okay, but you say that. And the only reason I say you say that, and I'm partly agreeing with you as well with Harry Kane, because I think he's... What I will say, and people won't like this, if Lewandowski was putting up these numbers in the Bundesliga now, what Kane's doing, we'd all be saying he's the best centre-forward in the world.
Yeah, but Harry Kane's done it in the Premier League already.
No, but my point is the numbers that Harry Kane's putting up in the Bundesliga, if Lewandowski was doing that, we'd all be saying Lewandowski's the best in the world.
So you're saying what by saying that?
Kane we should be saying that same about Kane. He's done it in the Premier League. He's putting up these ridiculous numbers. He's the best centre-forward in the world. But people will go, absolutely not.
I do think that if we have a good run in the Euros and Kane wins a major, and by that I mean maybe the Champions League, and keeps knocking him in, I think he's got a great chance to win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, of course. But Lewandowski, he did it. He's doing what Lewandowski did.
He didn't win it.
We got robbed, didn't he? We got absolutely robbed.
Terrible.
But no, Kane was important. But again, what I was going to say there is that you look at Spurs, right? Now, Kane is one of their best, if probably arguably one of their greatest players. No, not even arguably. He is one of the greatest players in their history, right? They look not more rounded without him, but other players have had to step up because he's no longer there. He's not the safety blanket that they've got. Well, if all else fails, give it to Kane and score a goal. The same thing might happen with England. You remove Kane from that situation, other players might go, do you know what? Well, all of a sudden now he's not there. We've all got to start stepping up potentially.
Why has no one mentioned Bellingham? None of us. There's 5 of us. Why has no one mentioned Bellingham?
It's obvious, isn't it? It's obvious. It's too obvious. It's probably too obvious. That's why.
So we've gone amongst us: Stones, Rice, Walker, Kane, and no one's mentioned Bellingham. I find that stunning.
The only reason why I think people maybe haven't mentioned Bellingham because they maybe look at Foden, look at Maddison, and think, right,
we've got cover.
We've got cover.
But he's a monster.
Monster's not the word. Monster is not the word. But that's maybe why people have gone Bellingham. But listen, he's so important. If England are going to progress well in this next major tournament, you best believe that Bellingham will be at the centre of that.
Okay. If we were to get an injury the night before our first game in the Euros, who would be the worst name to hear at the end of that phone? And also, we talk about England's midfield. We think it's Rice, Bellingham, and one more. You think it's probably going to be...
No, I'm telling you now, it's Phillips, Henderson, Rice and Bellingham.
So there's no starting place for Phil Foden?
Nope.
I mean, that's shambolic.
Unless there's an injury to Bellingham.
That's shambolic, isn't it?
We will never see in the same midfield under Gareth, I
agree. It's horrible to say it, Rice, Bellingham and Foden.
Yeah, or Foden and Bellingham in that same midfield.
And that should be the best.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
It should be the best.
Yep.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.